So my name is Mecca. I'm actually in the Bay Area, Oakland, California, to be exact, West Side. Nice to meet y'all today. So my background is in digital strategy as well as financial planning. So on the financial planning tip, a couple of the things that I specialize in is tax-free retirement strategies, as well as investing in ourselves before we start investing all of our extra income into like things like the stock market, mutual funds and stuff like that. So a little bit about what me and Naomi were talking about was this idea of investing in ourselves first before we start paying things like bills, paying other people, and all those type of things. So what that essentially means is like I share with people the three type of accounts that they should definitely be having their money in. One is a fixed type of account. So that's like your traditional savings account, your bank account. And those are great for, your liquid assets. Those where you're going to be paying your rent from, going to be paying your bills from and stuff like that. When it comes to the stock market, those are things like variable accounts. So the great thing about it is when the market is up, you make more money. And like Sis was saying before, if you can live without returning or getting a return on your investment for 5 to 10 years, go ahead and do that. But I think a lot of people's misconception is that they put the money in the stock market and they should be getting money back immediately. And that's not how it works, because the variable strategy works like when the market is down, you literally lose all your money. And so that's what a lot of people are dealing with in their 401ks right now and a lot of their IRA accounts, because the market has crashed like at least I think 30 to 35% in the last 3 weeks. I have a cousin who has a company sponsored 401k account, and she lost $17K in the last 2 weeks. And I don't know about y'all, but I don't have $17,000 to just be shelling out to these companies because they're wanting to do what they want with it in the market. And so I really educate, especially millennials and people of color, of what these different money market accounts mean and what they're doing when you invest in them, right? And so the last type of account that you should definitely be looking into is what's called an index strategy. So that was actually started in like 1984, I believe. And the way the index works is it actually mirrors the performance of the stock market, take into consideration your traditional S&P 500, those type of accounts, right? So it mirrors the performance, but actually when the market goes down, you never lose your principal amount. Meaning if you were to fund one of these type of accounts, you can guarantee that when you put $1,000 in it, you will for sure always have $1,000 in it, regardless of what the market does. And on top of that, those type of accounts have been averaging an interest between like 6 and 10%, meaning that like, again, you want your money to grow for you. So it's not about just making money and having it sit there. The number one goal you should be having with your money right now is to make it grow. And I don't really, I have a budget, but I don't really specify the budget as much as I do like diversifying how many different types of income that you have. So really start to think about what are your natural skill sets and how you can start to like really master those and like market those to make sure that you're having as many different incomes as you possibly can. Because if you're relying on one job to feed you and your family for the rest of your life, you're really doing yourself a disservice, because at any moment, these jobs can say, hey, we don't need you anymore, like they're doing right now. So yeah, and we could talk a little bit about that one-on-one if you guys want to hit me up.